right, hi, my name is Rachel Cohen. I'm a teacher here in Providence Public Schools, so you'll also be hearing from me tomorrow, I think. But I work in Providence with students who are English language learners, so non-native English speakers who are still in the process of English language acquisition. And the nature of that position means that I work with a lot of children who came to the United States without documentation and are in the process of obtaining legal status through whatever mechanisms we provide them with. So it's from this perspective that I'm here in favor of House Bill 7982. And although goodness is in no way a requirement for obtaining legal status in the United States, nor should it be, I would be remiss if I did not point out that the students that I have who came to this country as unaccompanied minors are without exception polite and hardworking and intrinsically motivated children who genuinely wish to contribute to our country and to our state in any mechanism or way that is available to them. Right now, unfortunately, those mechanisms are relatively limited and are about to become a lot more limited with the elimination of DACA at the federal level. These kids have all the hallmarks of an ideal American. They're filled with love for this country. They have a strong work ethic, value for education, and an appreciation of community. Many of the undocumented Americans I work with are college-bound and have earned privately funded scholarships totaling several hundreds of thousands of dollars. This bill allows these students to commute to and from their jobs and their classes legally, as opposed to forcing them to take public transportation or to drive without a license, which unfortunately happens very often and then sets into motion legal proceedings that can deprive them of future legal status. And it also means that once they graduate from higher education programs, that they're not forced to leave our state in order to find work. So for example, one of my students received by themselves $200,000 in scholarship funds to go and study computer science at a four-year institution. And we really want that kid to stay in Rhode Island and be employed here in a STEM field. Beyond personal anecdotes, it's undeniable that the existence of undocumented American youth in our state and in our country must be acknowledged and constructively legislated around. And so I appreciate Representative Maldonado, and I know Representative Philippi as a co-sponsor as well. My students and other kids and Americans like them cannot be productive members of our society without work authorization and access to transportation. Preventing them from accessing these things doesn't solve the problem. It doesn't make my kids go away, go back to Guatemala, go back to Honduras. It just makes them less engaged in our community and eventually costs us in terms of wasted potential and in terms of tax dollars. Rhode Island is leading the way when it comes to constructive responses to the impending end of DACA, and I'm really proud in these instances to be a resident of this state where my students are eligible for Rhode Island Promise, where they're eligible for in-state tuition, regardless of documentation status as long as they're Rhode Island residents. Those who are impacted by the end of DACA will remain working to improve our state and our country in whatever capacity we allow them. And so I commend those supporting this bill for working to ensure that that capacity is not limited. Thank you.